Tough challenges or experiences prepare great people for success ahead. No amount of hate or hatred can stop a person that is destined for greatness. Hello everyone, I welcome you back to this channel, Everyday Documentary. This is the channel where we highlight and celebrate notable everyday achievers in sports, entertainment, arts, history, literature, media, politics, and everything in between. And on today's episode, we'll be celebrating the biggest winner on the continent of Africa in 2024 in the person of Chidimma Adetshina. Yes, it is time for celebration like we always do on this channel, Everyday Documentary. And we are so glad and so proud that one of us ended up as the first runner-up in the latest edition of the Miss Universe, which held in Mexico in November 2024. We are just excited and we really can't contain our joy and our happiness and our excitement and our satisfaction for what has happened. This great positive turnaround that has just been experienced by Chidimma and by Nigeria as a country, as a people. There are 5 lessons that I've been able to pick out from the life and experiences of Chidimma since the time that the controversy about her eligibility to contest in South Africa came up, and then the time that she ended up as the second on the list of contestants in Mexico, that is the first runner-up. The number 1 lesson is tough challenges or experiences prepare great people for success ahead. That is, the great people, those who are destined for greatness, sometimes a lot of times they don't have life easy, they don't have it easy. There are things that they tend to go through at some time in their lives that will appear as though the whole world, the entire world was crumbling on them. Those who end up becoming great in life a lot of times tend to go through so much more than an average person will experience in their lifetime. And at that period when they are going through such awful, crushing experiences, it's never a fun moment for them. It's never fun moments for them. You know, it could be very saddening, very depressing. Like she said, that she became very depressive and she was really fed up of the development that she was faced with in South Africa, and then she was just fed up with life and fed up with everything.
Even when I went to Mexico, there was still a petition for me not to walk the Miss Universe stage, and I actually felt like my life was ending. I was like, oh God, this cannot work out again. Well, South Africans felt like I wasn't South African enough because of my name, and it was really sad to see. It was a very horrible experience, and I wouldn't wish it on anybody because I have lived there for 23 years. And it's heartbreaking to see that I wasn't welcomed and accepted. Yeah.
But I believe personally that it was this challenge, it was this test that she had to pass through that propelled her forward and further for the success that was coming ahead for her. And then this actually prepared her, this actually strengthened her more mentally, more emotionally prepared for what was coming ahead. She never knew what was coming ahead, but see how she eventually ended up.
And also, I really learned a lot about myself, not only on that day, but throughout this whole journey. I really learned a lot about who I really am.
So sometimes people tend to easily give up when they are faced with challenges, and it all seems that the whole world was against them, was turning their back on them. They just take the easy way out and then give up and say, oh, you know what, I'm out. I don't like stress. Yeah, no one likes stress. I don't like stress too. But sometimes great people need such push, such motivation. I call it a motivation. Things to motivate you, to push you, things to spur you on, for you to be able to reach for the goals. Number 2 lesson is no amount of hate or hatred can stop a person that is destined for greatness. Yes, that is clearly played out, in the story of Chidimma, because she experienced so much backlash, so much attacks, antagonism by the guys in South Africa, thinking she was never gonna make a headway.
That someday we'll still come together and really get rid of all this hate and banter that we used to joke around. Because I think most of the times we tend to not know the difference. Some people think it's just joke. Some people actually really do take it personally. But I really hope that we just live in a space where there's not a lot of hate like this.
They probably thought, oh, we don't want her in our country. Get out of this place. You're never, probably some of these guys had it in mind that if they chased her out, then there was never gonna be any other means, any other platform through which she was gonna go on to contest and then represent her country. I don't even think she herself will have had the thought or the possibility of even winning as a representative of her country, even while she was going for the competition in South Africa. She probably just wanted to try her luck out and then see if she will end up either in the top 10 or top 5. But eventually she was kicked out. She must have looked at the whole situation and then felt, wow, so there's actually no hope for me. But she faced so much antagonism.
I would say don't give up on your dreams, don't give up on yourself as well. And there's actually a quote that has really helped me throughout this whole journey, and it is, the question is not who's going to let me, it's who's going to stop me. And I feel like it's such a powerful quote because most of the times we always let people dictate our life, our future, our destiny. And I think we have so much power within us that we can actually change the narrative.
Who could have thought that was this same Chidimma that was kicked out by her own countrymen in South Africa will now end up being embraced, being received by her other compatriots in another part of the continent, in the West. She was rejected in the South, but she was embraced in the West. And eventually, see where she ended up. She ended up becoming Miss Nigeria Universe, and also went ahead to becoming the contestant from Africa to have reached the highest point or the highest stage at the contest. Chidimma was the only African contestant in the top 5 at Miss Universe 2024. So that's just as clearly played out in a way that no one would have thought. Though there was so much support given to her by many of us in Nigeria, we just wanted her to go far. But then when this whole drama started from South Africa, no one could ever have thought that she will end up becoming the first runner-up. So she's been destined for greatness. She's been destined to be at the top. Now she's been crowned as a Miss Africa, Miss Universe Africa and Oceania, being the highest ranked African contestant in Mexico. So that's greatness. She was shown so much hate and so much despise.
The question is not who's going to let me, it's who's going to stop me. And I feel like it's such a powerful quote because most of the times we always let people dictate our life, our future, our destiny. And I think we have so much power within us that we can actually change the narrative.
Right. But at the end of the day, she went on to becoming the star of the year, the star of the moment that's been celebrated across the world. That's how it is. The third lesson from the story of Chidimma so far is that we must never forget our roots. We must never forget where we are coming from. You must never forget or disregard your roots as an individual.
And I'm still proudly Nigerian as well. The love that I've received, it has been exceptional, not only from the group, from the organization, from the girls, but from Nigeria as well and all over the world. And that's my whole journey.
So many times it has happened that people who originally were born in a country migrated from their country of birth and then relocated to another country, and then by the time they get to that country they will just totally forget the country they were coming from due to reasons known to them. They tell you, no, I don't want to have anything to do with that country anymore. Though at many times lots of Nigerians too have made such statement and said to as many as were ready to listen that they will never return to Nigeria. They will never want to have anything to do with Nigeria again because of the many awful and unpleasant experiences that they've had in that country, because it hasn't presented them with as much opportunities as they would have loved to have while living there or while growing up there. But they have to relocate to another country most of the times in the West before the biggest opportunities of their lives, could come up. And then because of that, they don't want to just have any link with their country of birth anymore. They just suddenly begin to feel that, oh, if this country of my birth has refused to present as much basic opportunities that will have needed to progress and advance in my career or in my profession, my line of, my chosen line of career or profession, then I don't want to have anything to do with them. Some of the times, some persons have seen very unusual or have experienced very unusual things, like maybe being kidnapped or experiencing very avoidable accidents or missing out on certain opportunities that could have taken them further in their lives, but because of certain basic things that were supposed to be on ground or in place in that country that were not there, they missed out, and then years of their lives had to be wasted as a result. So by the time they will leave, they just want to forget that country where they were coming from as soon as possible. But that is really not the mindset to have, because let's assume Chidimma didn't have any link with Nigeria and then she decided not to obtain a Nigerian citizenship. She should have just been left in that debacle of thinking and worrying herself, and then having to continue facing the backlash coming from the people from the South Africa.
But I think after me participating, that's when I became actually more aware that, okay, there's actually this conflict between the two countries. And I know most of the backlash and all of that wasn't really directed at me. It was because of the anger from, South Africans and the history, basically, with Nigerians.
But because she had embraced Nigerian heritage before that period, it was easier for her to have been invited and called and embraced and say, oh, you are one of us. Why don't you just come here and contest from Nigeria?
And I'm still proudly Nigerian as well. And I was really excited to get an invitation from Silverbird to represent Nigeria in Miss Universe Nigeria, and to see that they saw that potential and the love that I've received, it has been exceptional. Not only from the group, from the organization, from the girls, but from Nigeria as well and all over the world. And that's my whole journey.
Yeah, and then this was what really worked out for her. Chidimma means God is good, and her surname, that is her second name, which is Adetshina, is a Yoruba name. And Ade in Yoruba, the first three letters of that word is Ade, and then the meaning of Ade is crown. Crown. Ade is crown. Ade is crown in Yoruba language. Yoruba language is spoken by the Yoruba people in southwest in Nigeria, the southwestern part of Nigeria. The people there are called Yoruba people, and the language spoken is the Yoruba language. And Ade is simply crown. Shina is open way or make way. So the combination of those two names, Ade and Shina, or those two words, Ade and Shina, is Ade, it says crown. Shina means open way or makes way. That means the crown has made the way open, or has opened the way for me. Ade Shina, the crown has made the way open, or has opened the way. So that simply means there's definitely gonna be a way open up for her to wear the crown, which she eventually won. So can you see how powerful names could be? So it's just a bit of advice to those who are just giving birth to their children, or who are just giving birth to babies, or who are looking forward to having their babies. So you should be mindful of the names that you should be giving to your children. Some persons might not believe in this, but you know, I believe strongly in the importance and the potency of the names that we bear. You know, they actually go a long way in bringing out whatever meaning that is attached to the name that we bear unto us at the end of the day. And that's just it.
But I think I really need to give a lot of credit to God, because He's the one that gave me so much strength and courage to face everything. I always used to look around and be like, how did I go through this? How did I face this? How did I overcome it? And it's really not by my might or my power, but by His. So it just really proves that we should never doubt ourselves, because we think that when we face certain things and things are not going our way, we always tend to say, listen, we're not going to do it, let's give up now. And I think I really showed that giving up is not the option. So you just need to really push through whatever you're going through. Sometimes it may not be the result that you wanted, but there's always something that you can gain from it. So, and maybe that one little thing from outside can actually get you to a point where you're like, listen, I can do it. And for me, it was a quote that says, the question is not who's going to let me, it's who's going to stop me. The moment I saw this quote, I felt so connected with it, and I literally feel like I went with this quote with me to Mexico, because even when I went to Mexico, there was still a petition for me not to walk the Miss Universe stage, and I actually felt like my life was ending. I was like, oh God, this cannot work out again. But that quote was like ringing in my head, and was like, nobody's going to stop you. You just need to show it.
That's it on today's edition of Everyday Documentary. I hope you all have enjoyed this wonderful, beautiful, and educative edition. And I would love to know what you guys feel. And please feel free to share your comments, and then like this video, share, and then let's know your opinion, your views, you know, at the comment section. Let's know how you feel. And then if there are other interesting content you love to see on this channel, kindly drop an idea of a type of content that you would love to see next, and we'll be bringing them forward as time goes on. For those of you who are probably watching this channel for the first time, or some of you that are probably have been watching but are yet to subscribe, please kindly subscribe to this channel and then hit the notification button so that you are notified anytime a new video drops on the channel. Support this channel and let's grow together. Thank you for your time. Have a lovely day, lovely week, beautiful month ahead. Take care. God bless you.